You know, when we think about modern conflicts in the Middle East, our minds usually jump straight to one thing: oil. But honestly, it's barely scratching the surface. The real fuel for a war that's been raging for centuries isn't something you can drill for. Now, it's an ancient religious conflict, and that's the story we're unpacking today.
Okay, so let's get right into it. If it's not just about oil, then what is it? What could possibly inspire that much devotion and that much violence for over 1,000 years? Well, we're about to peel back the layers of history to find out. The answer, the very heart of this whole thing, is a single city: Jerusalem. Even today, this city is the focal point for so much of the region's tension. So if you really want to understand this never-ending war, you first have to understand why this one city matters so much to so many different people. So, let's start at the very beginning. The first claim, the first layer of sacred history here, belongs to the Jewish people. This is where Jerusalem's story as a holy city is really forged.
Okay, so picture this. It's around 10,000 BCE. A legendary leader, King David, conquers the city and, boom, makes it the capital of the Jewish kingdom. His son, the famous King Solomon, then builds this magnificent first temple, making it the absolute center of Jewish worship. But this golden age, well, it doesn't last. In 586 BCE, the Babylonians invade, they destroy the temple, and they force the Jewish people into exile. Now, they do eventually return and build a second temple, only for it to be destroyed centuries later by the Roman Empire in 70 CE.
The Romans left almost nothing standing except for a single retaining wall. And that lone remnant, what we now know as the Western Wall, became the most sacred site in all of Judaism. A powerful, lasting symbol of endurance and an unbreakable connection to their ancestral home. But the story doesn't stop there. Just as the Jewish claim was being etched in stone in sorrow, a new faith was spreading like wildfire across the Roman Empire, and it too would find its heart right here in Jerusalem. This is the second layer of our story: Christianity. For Christians, Jerusalem's role becomes absolutely central. This isn't just any city. It is the stage for the most profound moments in their faith. It's where Jesus preached his final sermons, it's where he was crucified, where he was buried, and, crucially, the place from which he was resurrected. For centuries, Christianity was a persecuted sect. But in the year 313 CE, everything changed. The Roman Emperor, Constantine, converted, and just like that, Christianity became the official faith of the most powerful empire in the world. This new imperial status had a huge physical impact on Jerusalem. Constantine's own mother, Helena, made a pilgrimage to the city, and while she was there, she identified the very spots where she believed Jesus was crucified and buried. So these were no longer just stories. They were now official, royally sanctioned holy sites. And this marked a major shift in the city's whole identity. While it remained the site of the lost Jewish temple, it was now becoming known throughout the massive Roman Empire as the city of the Christian tomb. So this creates two profound and overlapping claims on the same small piece of land. For Jews, the ultimate focus is still the Temple Mount, where their temples once stood. For Christians, it's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, built over the tomb of Christ. Two faiths, two sacred centers, all within one city. Just when it seems like the city's identity is set, a third, powerful layer gets added to the story. We're in the 7th century now, and another new faith is emerging from the Arabian Peninsula: Islam. And it too will lay an eternal claim on Jerusalem.
The entire foundation of Islam's connection to Jerusalem is this one miraculous event known as the Night Journey. According to Islamic tradition, in a single night, the Prophet Muhammad was transported from Mecca to Jerusalem, and from Jerusalem, he ascended into the very presence of God.
This journey has 4 key steps. First, Muhammad travels from Mecca to Jerusalem on a mystical creature. There, he leads all the previous prophets, we're talking Moses and Jesus included, in prayer, which signifies his place as the final prophet. From that spot, he ascends to heaven, speaking directly with God. And then, he returns with one of Islam's central pillars, the commandment for 5 daily prayers.
You really can't overstate the significance of this. The night journey firmly established Jerusalem, or Al-Quds as it's known in Arabic, as the third holiest city in the entire Islamic world, right after the sacred cities of Mecca and Medina.
And pretty soon, Islam made its physical mark. In 638 CE, the Caliph Umar took control of the city. He did it peacefully, issuing a famous pledge that guaranteed Christians and Jews safety and freedom to worship. Then, to commemorate the night journey, Islamic rulers built two iconic structures right on the Temple Mount itself: the magnificent Dome of the Rock in 691, over the very stone of the Ascension, and then the Al-Aqsa Mosque nearby in 705, cementing the site's holiness in Islam.
So, let's bring it all together. By the end of the 7th century, the stage is completely set. We now have three major world religions, and each one has a deep, theological, and totally unbreakable claim to the same city.
So you have this one holy city, and it's inextricably woven into the foundational stories of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's not just a place on a map, it's a central pillar for three different worldviews.
Let's just quickly recap the core of each claim. For Jews, it is the eternal capital of their ancient kingdom and the site of their two holy temples. For Christians, it's the sacred stage where the defining events of Jesus' life unfolded. And for Muslims, it's the destination of the Prophet's miraculous night journey to heaven.
On the ground, these claims show up as specific holy sites. The Western Wall for Judaism, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre for Christianity, and the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque for Islam, all of them existing within yards of each other. A shared sacred space, but not always a peaceful one.
So this is the reality that set the stage for centuries of conflict. A city ruled by one faith, but spiritually claimed by three. This created an inevitable friction, a tension that would eventually and dramatically explode into open warfare.
This leaves us with one critical question. When the divine claims of three different peoples are layered one on top of the other on the very same patch of earth, what happens next? The answer is a 200-year war that would change the world forever, the Crusades. And that is a story for our next explainer.